A very warm welcome to or welcome back to my channel this morning, this afternoon or this evening. If you hear any noise in the background, it's the black belt Floof who is chewing something on the floor just down here. She even has her own channel, so you can check that out. So in this video, I wanted to do a brief opinion piece, which is not usually like me. I don't usually give my opinions on very many things. I usually give you a breakdown of facts and legal argument and the approach of evidential analysis and how I agree or disagree with that approach and evidential analysis, and draw some legal opinions as opposed to personal opinions. But in this case, I felt it really necessary to draw some personal opinion because there's been lots of criticism both of people like me, legal commentators online, and indeed Camille Vasquez herself, in what people have described as a victory lap, which I completely disagree with, but I'll come back to that in just a moment. So there have been lots of people online saying that people like me commenting on this case, talking about this case, analysing this case, and shouldn't be. And so I thought I'd give my opinion on all of this, because the point is this. We are all entitled to free speech. We are all entitled to discuss cases. And so long as I've said before, what we say doesn't come across the bounds of defamation or harassment. And remember, harassment is something that requires a course of conduct that is designed to alarm and distress and causes a little bit more than that, which is more than one person should reasonably be expected to bear. So no one commenting on this case and doing detailed breakdown and analysis and everything else could constitute that, because after all, it's a matter of public interest because they are public figures. This trial was televised worldwide, live for the entirety. And let's not forget that Amber Heard indeed went on to do her own interviews afterwards, which she knew would be broadcasted, and doubtless, in my view, she would have accepted not a small amount of money for doing so. Now, with all that said, everyone is entitled to give comment on all of this. And what I would like to say with my opinion in regards to, well, firstly, Camille Vasquez, in respect of the trial, there are certain ways that a lawyer can conduct him or herself. And I have said before that I feel that Camille Vasquez was flawless, as were the rest of her team, in the way that they conducted this trial. They did not set out with questions to intimidate or humiliate any other witnesses, even when witnesses were being deliberately, in my view, obstructive, evading the question, vague, and trying to obscure the answer, such as saying one word is synonymous with another, when, quite frankly, it's ludicrous to say such a thing. And even when that was the case, you'll remember Camille Vasquez asking the question again, saying, "No, Miss Heard, that was not my question. My question was," as against another lawyer accusing a witness of chasing 15 minutes of fame, which is entirely unprofessional, in my view. Asking such a question to a witness is clearly designed to upset, annoy, and humiliate a witness. The narrowest shred of argument can be raised that it's attacking his credibility, in that he's only here to get some kind of fame. But there's no evidential or legal basis for that whatsoever. So if anyone was being unprofessional here, it was certainly not Camille Vasquez and her team. Now, just briefly on us legal commentators as well. As I've said, we are all entitled to exercise our right to free speech, just as others who have blocked me without ever having interacted with them, and others who I won't mention by name because I think it's undeserving, have heavily criticised Camille Vasquez and her team and other commentators such as myself, resulting in blocking people like me, even though I've never interacted directly whatsoever. But just to say that, in my opinion, so long as everybody is staying within the curtilage and the lines of being professional and commentating legally, analysing the facts, there are a great number of great channels doing exactly that. Some channels doing it in a more sort of pop culture style, such as Andy Signor, which is a great channel over at Popcorn Planet. Most of you will know Popcorn Planet by now. If you don't, where have you been? Go and check him out. But also Lost Beyond Pluto, Uncivil Law, Nate the Lawyer you know, Legal Bites, Ron Call at the Bailey. Forgive me if I've missed anybody, but they're all great channels and they've all talked about this in great detail. Why have we all talked about this in great detail? Well, there is a very important reason that each of us have talked about this in great detail. We all have our own reasons to be talking about this in great detail. My reasons I have discussed over on my other channel on Black Belt Secrets here, which I've discussed it here because I have personal reasons with my personal practice experience as to why I wanted to talk about this trial. Because there have been lots of cases where I've experienced these kind of allegations in both directions. And so with this such a public trial, it was the perfect opportunity for us to talk about these kind of issues and false allegations, because there are false allegations made. Just because an allegation is made does not mean that it is true. And so I wanted to just show you one or two clips showing the utmost humility and class, in my opinion, by Camille Vasquez. And so anyone that has criticized her online, my personal view, shame on you, really, because she has represented the legal profession in general with the utmost class and professionalism, in my view, in response to her questions, in her interviews, and even when she's not on duty, such as when she helped a man on a plane. And the only reason that came to light is because of who she is and what she's done, and because she's been in the media recently. It was obviously picked up by the news to show what a great person she is. Clearly, she didn't do that deliberately to get any kind of fame. She did that because of who she is, because it shows what kind of person she is and why people love her for who she is. So one or two of those clips I wanted to share with you. I will put the links to each of these videos in the description below. This one from Access here, just a very brief clip, just showing the humility that she demonstrates in such interviews. Take a look at this clip.
Time, and first of all, congratulations. I was so pleasantly surprised to see a young Latina chosen to take on this case that was going to get major headlines and so much attention. And I should have started off with congratulations on being named a partner.
Thank you.
And the law firm right there.
Thank you very much.
Yes, exactly. That deserves a little, yes. How does that all feel right now?
It's been an honor to represent women, to represent Latina women, and just be famous for doing a good job.
So you can watch the full clip. I'm not going to use too much of it for copyright reasons, but you can watch that full interview in the description below. And so what a perfect response. Just others have criticized her for saying that she's been an inspiration and such things. And this is absolutely ludicrous. As I said, I don't often express my personal opinions, but I think it's absolutely ludicrous to criticize somebody for saying that they are pleased to be some kind of inspiration to other young women, Latina women, and so on and so forth. I mean, I have been humbled and very pleased to receive lots of messages from people. People have told me that they've gone to do a law degree on the path to becoming a lawyer because of watching my channel. I don't see myself as some kind of celebrity. I am humbled, and I am so pleased to be some kind of inspiration to all of you who have done that. There's more than one person that has done that and has emailed me to tell me that you've studied law, you've gone back to school, you've gone back to university, college, wherever, because of watching my channel and given you an interest in law and the strength and the courage to fight on and to go on to a new path, a new career. This is a really humbling moment for people like me, and clearly for Camille. As you can see the joy, the glee in her eyes, on her face, for being an inspiration. And she has been an inspiration to so many people. And so for some people to criticize her, and some people in what are usually respected positions, respected law positions in otherwise respected institutions, I think that's disgraceful. That's my personal view, and I don't often share my personal view. But just again, in another interview, just again showing the humility here. This is titled, again, I'll link this in the description below. But again, best answer to the interview. This was titled, so it caught my attention. So again, listen to this, just a few seconds worth.
To say that it's unseemly and unprofessional for you all to be, quote, taking a victory lap for setting back decades of how women can be treated in the courtroom. How do you respond to that?
I think it's disappointing. We're only speaking about what happened in this case, right? And the facts in this case were overwhelmingly positive for Johnny, and the verdict speaks for itself.
How about the broader?
And so there you go. Without directly criticizing and without being unprofessional, she has said, we are only speaking about the facts in this case. The evidence was overwhelming, and the verdict speaks for itself. That is exactly what all of us are doing. We are all discussing this case about the evidence and the credibility and the overwhelming nature of evidence in one direction, and therefore the jury verdict speaks for itself. I mean, for example, if ordinarily, in any case that I've ever dealt with, if someone had been convicted, actually pleaded guilty to lying to an authority on their import and export and custom and excise regulations, if someone had pleaded guilty to such an offence, it would have an impact on their credibility. It absolutely would have an impact on their credibility. And yet, some people criticize us for talking about that and for bringing that into question. And one more short clip about the flight incident where Camille has helped another passenger. Again, just a few seconds worth of this clip.
Vasquez got in touch with her brother-in-law, who is a doctor, to help her determine whether the man had a heart attack or suffered a brain bleed as a result of his fall, while her bodyguard used his Apple Watch to check the man's heart rate. The plane had to turn around and return to LAX due to the incident.
So again, she's only in the news for this because of who she is, because she's recently been extensively covered in the media because of this trial. But again, she's not seeking any kind of fame because of this. She did it because of who she is. And so anyone criticizing somebody for being in the media, being in the public eye, for doing the right thing, for doing their job, for being professional, I think that's quite ludicrous. But I would like to thank all of you personally, all of you who've watched, the millions of people that have watched my channel and other channels over the last month or so covering this trial, talking about the evidence, talking about these issues, because that is, after all, that is why we are talking. We've all got our own reasons for talking about this case. And my reasons, as I said, you can find over on my channel, over on Black Belt Secrets. This video here, why I wanted to talk about this. This is over on Black Belt Secrets. You can check it out here. Please do subscribe there. I normally share my personal thoughts and opinions on this channel, Black Belt Secrets, as opposed to the one you're watching now, Black Belt Barrister. But I released this on Black Belt Barrister because this is an overview video of what a lot of people are saying and thinking and criticisms. And so this is my direct response to those. Not only is it free speech, but we have our own way of doing it, our own reasons for doing it, and our own way of remaining professional. So, as I said, I thank you all for watching. Please do like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. And there will be more. There's more to digest. There's more to analyze. If you enjoy this content, please do come back for more. And in the meantime, as always, thank you very much for watching.